Let's talk about the plateaus of self-improvement, because this is not something that a lot of people talk about, and it's something that comes up quite frequently in your journey, and something that will come up a lot. So I'm gonna just give you a little precursor. So this happens to me a lot. Basically, the concept is every few weeks, as a guy on self-improvement, you are constantly learning, you're constantly improving, you're constantly looking for things to input into yourself, right? You're reading books, you're probably listening to podcasts and stuff like that, right? And so you're going to learn something. Like, a lot of times you learn something very quickly. You learn a lot of new things in a quick succession. So every couple weeks, even a month, you're going to be learning something new. And it's either going to be something new, a new tactic, or a new way of going about things, a new routine that you're trying out, something different, because you're going to be trying a lot of things when you are improving. And so when you go through that and you try something new and it starts working, and you see improvements in your life, you see little small improvements here and there in confidence and other things like that, you feel good. You feel really good about that. And that you can ride that high for a while. But what happens is, after a few weeks of that, after maybe a month, even 2 months of that, it can stretch. It, in my experience, it stretches from about 2 to 3 weeks to about 2 months is when this could happen. That's like the parameters. And what happens is, you go from feeling good about yourself and feeling good about this routine and this new thing that you've been trying out, this new thing, and the results aren't as staggering anymore, right? After a few weeks of doing the same thing, even if it felt good at first, even if it's helping you at first, it tapers off a little bit. Okay, so the results are not going to automatically just keep rising like that. It tapers off just like anything. That can feel kind of bad in a way, because you're used to it feeling good. You're used to this thing being beneficial to you. And so if it stops being as beneficial, it doesn't feel as good. For example, me with this YouTube stuff, because this will happen. On my other channel, I used to do chess videos because I like to play chess. And so I would record like 30 to 40, even an hour-long chess video of just me running through opponents, playing chess, losing, winning, etc. And then I would clip that up and make it into shorts and then upload those as well. And so the shorts were getting a lot of likes. I was getting a lot of subscribers. I was getting a lot of views on the long form videos as well. And so I was like, boom, this is cool. Like, that, this is great. And eventually it stops being as great. The views were climbing for a while, but after a certain point, the views don't climb as much. Things grow in a specific format, and I'll get to that in a second. But those videos, they weren't being as impactful on my algorithm and stuff as they were initially. And so what did I do? I started feeling bad. I'm like, damn, bro, like, what should I do? Whatever. And same with this channel. This channel, I had uploaded hella videos on this channel, and they literally got 0 views, right? When I first started it anyway, they got 0 views. And so that doesn't feel good. I'm gonna just be straight up. It doesn't feel good. And so when you hit these plateaus in certain things that you're learning, what you have to do is keep going, right? This is not the time to stop. What I used to do back in the day, when something would happen to me, even if it was content or if it was some little strategy, when I would try those things out, when they stopped working, I would get sad and I would be like, damn, bro, like, this isn't fair, whatever. And then basically I just stopped doing it, and then I try something else. And then that thing goes in the same cycle to where it works for a little bit and then it tapers off. And so I quit that and then try something else. And this is the same with businesses. I did this with businesses. I tried drop shipping for a little bit and it did good for whatever. And then it stopped, right? And then I tried something else. Things are not gonna always just keep climbing steadily. The format that I was referring to when it comes to growth, especially in self-improvement, is you'll grow for a little bit and then it'll stagnate. It'll plateau for a little bit. And then it'll start growing again once you learn something new, and then it'll stagnate once it starts to become maintenance, once it starts to become a habit. And so you have to be aware of that. You have to be cognizant of that, because my mistake was that I wasn't aware of this format. I wasn't aware of this concept. And so whenever this would happen to me, I would get sad and I would quit it. And so I didn't make any real momentum. I didn't make any real progress. Once I realized that that's the point where the winners are made, that's when I started making real progress in things. And this happened with the gym as well. When you're in the gym, you're steady climbing, especially when you first start. but you know, you're not going to always be climbing that steadily, in terms of the weight that you're pushing, in terms of the mass that you're putting on. It's very easy to quit after something like that. But what you have to realize is that that's where everybody quits. Everybody quits in those hard times, bro. And so those are the moments where I had to really look inward and keep going. And so that's what separated me from the guy who lost, who's still not going today. When I started this channel and all his videos were getting 0 views, and I could have just quit. Like, it would be so easy for me to quit. Or when I post a video and it goes a little bit viral, it spikes a little bit, and then the rest of the videos after that go down. It would be so easy for me to quit after that, or to try to change up what I'm doing. When I get a viral video, it'd be so easy for me to change up and make all the videos like that one and just change everything up. You have to stay hard. You have to stay on your path. It's not easy to do, but you have to stay on your path. You have to keep doing what you were doing already. You have to realize that this is just part of the process. This is part of the game. I know I'm sweating, just forget that. But this is just part of the game, man. And you have to realize that. And so once you realize that, bro, when you get in those hard times, those trenches of self-doubt and plateauing, just keep going. Just keep going. I promise you, that is where the winners are made. When you go to the gym anyway, even though you haven't been making much progress, even though you slipped on your diet a little bit, even though you don't feel as good, maybe you haven't gotten as much sleep. And so all these things are affecting your progress in the gym. And so it feels like you're stagnating. Keep going to the gym. You go to the gym anyway. Redial back in your diet. You know, stuff like that. Like, you have to get back into the flow. You have to keep going. That's how you win, bro. That is how you win. Because everybody else would have just quit. Even with this channel, when the videos were getting 0 views and I kept uploading, eventually some are going to pop off. Eventually some are going to gain traction. And then people started subscribing and stuff like that. And so I already know like how this shit goes at this point. So that's why it was pretty easy for me to keep going. But for young guys, I know this happened to me. So that's why I want to warn you. Like, you're going to go through some stagnation periods, even though you've been improving a lot. And that's what makes it hard, because you've been steadily improving. And so your identity kind of matches up with that. That happened for me a lot. My identity was in that I was just growing so much. I'm in the gym all the time. My YouTube is going great, and it's just like, when that stuff stagnates, it's easy for that to get into your head and for you to quit. I'm just warning you, like, when you get to that point, this is where you know that you're on the right path. This is where you know that you're doing something right, actually, once you feel like you're stagnating. Because that means the new thing that you've been integrating into your life, whether that's a new routine or the new knowledge thing, it has baked itself into your identity more. It's baked itself into your personality and just how you move. And so the results are not as fast, because it's just kind of who you are now. When all the things that you've been trying out and learning have actually been absorbing into your personality, that's how you know you're doing the thing right. That's how you know that you're on the right path. And so a breakthrough is just around the corner. Whenever you feel in these strong self-doubting periods, when you keep going to the gym, when you keep striving for more, when you keep going despite how you feel, that's when you know that a breakthrough is on the other end. Whenever I did that, bro, whenever I kept going, it's like a video will pop off soon after that, or I'll learn something else and then I'll try that thing, and then the cycle starts over again, and so I feel good again, you know, just stuff like that. And so then you look back and it's been 3, 4, 5 months. Now you're way better than you were 3, 4, 5 months ago. Now you have steadily improved, and now you're a completely different person than you were even a couple months ago, because you didn't stop. If you had stopped and tried to do something else in those 3 or 5 months, you would have been in the same place. You know what I'm saying? Because you keep trying new shit and you're not staying on the path. When you stay on the path and stay consistent, you're going to grow. There's just no doubt about that. And so you're going to look back and be like, man, I'm so glad I didn't fold. I'm so glad that I didn't let my feelings dictate how I moved and how I kept working. I'm so glad that I actually kept doing it no matter what I was feeling, because that's what makes you a winner. Now you can move on to another thing. You know what I'm saying? I talk about how life goes in cycles and attack your problems one-on-one. And so once you knock out one problem, once one thing becomes more maintenance, once you figure out some little routine, some little productivity tool to figure out this little part of your life, and that becomes maintenance, now you can go into something new. Once you are a few months in to a certain thing, now you can try something new. And so you keep improving that way. You keep stacking up all these new tactics, all these new experiences, and now you're a completely different person than you were a couple months ago, let alone a year ago, 2 years, 3 years. So that's the point. So you have to just keep going in those hard times. Specifically, I recently went through one of these points. I'm not gonna lie. I recently went through one of these, even though, and it was crazy because I was on my path. Like I was literally the most productive I had ever been in my life. Literally, like this was like, it was a couple weeks ago, and it was like the most productive week I ever had. Like I was going crazy. I was editing, I was filming, I was in the gym, my diet was locked in, everything was dialed in, bro. I'm telling you. And I still got this sense. I still got this like, damn, bro. I don't know why. I don't know what the fuck it was, but something got into me like that. But I kept going. I still went to the gym the next day. I still did my shit the next day. I still completed my tasks. And so now I'm out of that shit. Now you keep going. And that's another little point, because productivity often offsets some sadness that you feel, especially as a man. Like when you don't feel good, just doing more things, being more productive, and progressing yourself often makes you feel a lot better. And so those are the main points. Just keep going, bro. Just keep going. That's all. That's really the point of this video, is just to keep going, especially in those hard times, especially when you feel like something isn't working, when you feel like you should stop and try something else, when you want to just give up or whatever. I promise you, like, just know, this is what helped me. Knowing that this is where the quitters will quit. Knowing that this is the easiest part for somebody to quit. Like, this is what separates you. Like that, just me knowing that alone is what kept me going. Even when I had nothing else to go off of, even when I had nothing else to bank on, just me knowing that I had seen it somewhere. I had seen it in a book, or I had seen it on YouTube or whatever, but I just had that in my mind. I just had that in my mind, that this is where the winners are made. When you feel bad, it's not when everything is going good, because when everything is going good, it's easy to feel good. It's easy to be confident. But when everything is going bad, like when you just don't feel good, when you feel tired, when you feel like everything isn't working, when you feel like you want to give up, that's when you have to keep going, because that's where most people quit. And so if you keep going, you'll just get ahead of everybody. You will literally get ahead of 90% of people just because you keep going in those hard times. Like literally just that alone. Like even if you're not even doing the best, like even if they did more work than you, even if they're doing better than you, just you continuing through those little tough periods, through those little divots, that is what makes you the winner. That is what carries you into the next phase, that you can keep going and keep continuing to grind and keep improving. So please, if you learn nothing else from this video, it's just that when you get in a hard time, you have to keep going. It's hot as fuck in this car, bro. I keep sweating. The point is, just keep going when shit gets hard, and that's gonna make you the winner, bro. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all later, man. Peace out.